bird launcher. Have you ever heard of that term? I just heard of it about a year ago. It's a nicer way to say empty nester. And since I heard of it, that is what I've been calling my husband and I, because it just has a nicer, more positive feeling about it. And I'm all about finding things that are more positive and uplifting in my life. Hey, my name's Kimmy, and I help people find joy in every day. If you are an empty nester or a bird launcher, like I like to call it, you may be feeling sad and depressed, but I am going to give you 5 examples of how you can start to see the positive side of this new stage of life. Number 1, I'm just going to look at my notes here so I don't forget what I'm saying. You might feel lonely or empty, not having your kids around, and the quiet can sometimes get overwhelming. I know sometimes when I'm at the house, it's just, I have to turn on some music, turn on the TV. It's just so quiet. But you could use this time to start a hobby, maybe start exercising if you've been wanting to do that, get a new routine going. You can just focus on your newfound freedom and realize that you have more flexibility and you can be more spontaneous without having to work around your kid's schedule. Number 2, you may have felt a loss of your sense of identity and your purpose in life, and you're wondering, what do I do now that I don't have to focus all my time and energy on my kids? Well, instead of feeling that way, try focusing on other relationships, like your friends that you haven't talked to as much in a long time, or maybe there's siblings that you want to connect with better, or maybe even a cousin, or someone that you used to know a while ago. You're curious what they're doing. Maybe you're just kind of gotten into a relationship where you're just friends on social media, but you want to know them better. Maybe you could just spend some time focusing on cultivating those relationships and making them stronger. Number 3 kind of goes along with number 2, but maybe you have realized that you and your spouse have lost a connection. You're just not on the same page with things, or you just have drifted apart because you've been so focused on the kids and their activities. So you could spend some time making that relationship stronger. You don't have to work around extracurricular activities. You could go on more date nights, be more spontaneous with your spouse. Even if it's like a picnic on the living room floor that you have all set up when your spouse comes home from work, or do a spontaneous like weekend getaway trip that you don't have to plan around your kids. I would love it if my husband would do that. That would be awesome. Okay, so number 4, you have a lot of worry or guilt about your kids going away, maybe to college, or if they're moving away to just have a job, have a career. You're worrying about how they're doing and everything. But maybe you could focus on how independent they're getting and how many lessons they're learning. And maybe they might make a mistake. I kind of mentioned this in my last video, how some of our kids have had to learn the hard way about taking care of their car or utilities or things like that. And all these are really good things for them to learn. So it can be a really positive thing for them to be out on their own. My mom always said that being independent and out on your own is as important as a college education, because you're learning about life, you're learning about how other people do things. If you have roommates or whatnot, you learn that maybe your way of doing something growing up isn't always the best way or the only way. So you could focus on all the things that they're learning and growing to become the adults that they're going to be. Okay, and number 5, you may be feeling uneasy or unsure about not having such a structured schedule with kids' school, extracurricular activities, maybe part-time jobs and things like that. And you could focus on the time you have to be able to cultivate hobbies, maybe go back to school if you've been wanting to do that, focus more on your career if that's what you want, and you can have a whole new schedule. You can sleep in if you want, you can wake up earlier if you want, and start exercising. The sky's the limit. I hope these 5 examples are a good starting place to get the wheels spinning so you can kind of focus on the positive side of being a bird launcher. Let me know in the comments below if you've heard of the term bird launcher, and also let me know what your feelings are about being a bird launcher, an empty nester, if you are struggling with it, if you're new to it, or if you've been doing it for a while. I would really love to know. And I hope you have a great day. And if nothing else, I hope you can find joy in every day. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Gosh, that's so terrible. That you can, wow, get your wheels spinning. That sounds so dumb.